Let me,
I applied for this job because I wanted to cut loose and shake my rump.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
I want to make it clear that the views expressed by our hosts are not considered the official stance of MBR Views. Remember, this is all about having fun and enjoying the ride.
Turnbuckles and Stogies!
All right. We are back. It's Turnbuckles and Stogies. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Motherfucking New Year's.
2024 promises to be the most exciting year yet for Turnbuckles and Stogies.
So do you want to reveal the first guest of 2024 that's already locked in and scheduled?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
January 7th.
January 7th, we got BAMF Cigars, ROCF Cigars, K9 Cigars, Don Olivon Cigars. I think I've covered all of his names.
Yes.
Ishmael Olivon coming on January 7th. He's already locked in. He will be here. So don't you worry. We will be live next week at 8:30 in the morning.
Where are we going from? Where are we going to be coming from?
You know, I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't know yet. Honestly, I don't
know.
know. We will be somewhere. It may be here. Maybe the Untouchables house. We don't know yet. We haven't figured that far out yet. It's also going to depend on.
Oh
yeah! Why are we yelling?
What?
Damn, we're indoors. Leave us alone.
What?
What? See what I got to deal with, man. All right.
Oh,
I knew that was going to happen.
There we go.
Well, I will be taking a little bit because I got to drive home.
Happy New Year, gentlemen.
Happy
Derek.
New Year's.
Derek, my man. Happy New Year's, bro.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, brothers. Happy New Year, brothers.
Coming on.
Thank you.
We're smoking some good cigars this new year to start off with a bang.
Yes.
We're all smoking Espinosa cigars.
Yes, we are.
So we're gonna listen. We're gonna get this. This is coming to you guys recorded. So we do have a little bit of a time constraint, let's just say. So we're actually going to kick off and go right into, how you got started in cigars and what made you become a rep for Espinosa.
Yes.
Let's start there.
Well, gentlemen, first let's start off. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on.
Happy New Year.
I'm really excited about this. Having me on a second time, I want to say thank you so much. First, let me show you that I'm smoking the Connecticut Knuckle Sandwich.
I can't wait to smoke that. I have not smoked that yet.
Unbelievable. I made sure you guys had a Connecticut. You guys have the Connecticut, the Maduro, and you should have the Habano.
The knuckle sandwiches. Yeah, we got the knuckle sandwiches. We got the Connecticut.
Yep.
And we got two of the Connecticut's, and then the comfortably numb Habano.
Oh.
And the comfortably numb Maduro.
Yep.
And then the Bat and the 601 Oscuro, which is what actually OG is smoking right now.
Oh, that's an unbelievable cigar.
I will say that knuckle sandwich and a Maduro. Oh,
money.
Top notch.
It really is.
So let's get right into it. How did you get started in cigars?
Well, of course, I've always smoked cigars, and I remember one time that I was smoking a cigar out back at the ECW arena, and Paul says, "What are you doing?" smoking a cigar before the show. He's like, comes over, he smells it. He's like, I'm not a cigar guy, but you look like a cigar guy. Like the way you hold it, the way you look. He says, I think you should bring one out. I think you should bring one out to the ring. That should be your thing. Okay.
Kind of like Tony DeVito did, chewing on a cigar.
Yep.
Shout out to Tony DeVito.
I love Tony, and funny with Tony because Tony always kept it in the corner, like chewing on it.
Always. Still does.
And I've never not smoked a cigar, but it's the fact of that. Technically, working for the NWA, working for ECW, and then of course I went to Japan once.
Nice.
And that was unbelievable. And then I got a job with, at the time, it was called Impact Wrestling, which is TNA Wrestling.
Oh, which they are going back to TNA as of
They're
January.
going back to TNA, which is great.
Now TNA Wrestling rebranded totally.
Really?
They've just signed Kushida to an exclusive American deal. He can't work anywhere in America but there.
Really?
And an exclusive deal in Japan, and he's got with New Japan. So he's got an exclusive in Japan and exclusive in America.
Awesome.
So that's it. You won't see him. You might see an indie here and there if you're lucky, but as far as WWE, AEW, you won't see him anywhere but Impact unless TNA unless they reform a relationship with AEW again.
Right, which I don't think they will. So I think they're all set.
I mean, hey, listen.
No one Scott D'Amore. I doubt it.
Best booker of the year, by the way, in my opinion.
Yep.
Dude is an evil genius. Not only does he run Impact, he's also part owner in Border City Wrestling, which is up in Canada. It was him and correct me if I'm wrong, D, but Tyson Dukes, right?
Yep.
It was him and Tyson Dukes that own it. So not only does he run and promote TNA, runs and promotes Border City.
Oh wow.
Just
you learned something.
And a hell of a wrestler. Hell of a hand, too. Hell of a hand.
Very much so. Very much so. But not to correct you, I should say, not to correct you, but I'm not I don't sell. I'm not a rep for Espinosa. So the company that I work for, Espinosa does our cigars. And of course, I work for a company called Protocol Cigars.
Oh, I love Protocol, another one, top-notch company.
And Eric Espinosa in Nicaragua, Delhi, in La Zona, that's where they roll all of the Espinosa / Protocol cigars. So,
people there. So there's some really good.
Let me tell you right now, and sometimes I get a little choked up because, the guys who own the cigar company, Protocol, they are excuse me. You know what? They're retired NYPD.
Yes.
These guys were first responders. They were first responders for 9/11.
That's great.
And you can't get any more of the guys. And here we go. They're my heroes.
So I was also down there when 9/11 hit. So you know what? Shout out to Kevin, my man. I love him to death. So how do we get Protocol Cigars? Basically,
where can we pick up some Protocol?
I think what they're trying to get to is where are Protocol available?
Correct.
Protocol is huge in PA, New Jersey, New York, but you got to go to the boroughs in New York to get Protocol.
Okay.
And the funny part about it is, the best part about it is all the cigar reps for Protocol are all retired NYPD. All of them.
That's cool.
It's wonderful. Juan Cancel, who started Protocol Cigars, him and another gentleman were in charge of transit. So when the plane hit, those two had to make a decision of what to do,
fight or flight,
because who knows what else was going to happen that day.
Correct.
So when you got one guy who's got his finger on the button to stop everything and
make that decision.
do what they did to make that decision, that's why I said those guys are my heroes, because for what they did for our people, for our country, to make sure than what those scumbags did to us to take care of the people.
So how did you get in with Protocol? How did that come about?
So I know a lot of people, of course, in the cigar industry because I've been doing this such a long time. And when Protocol came out, my buddy Joe Constantino is still over 20 years now. He is an EMT in New York. Awesome. So I went to a cigar event at the Leaf in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
It was an opening of this cigar company called Protocol Cigars. Of course, Eric was there because Eric Espinosa is he's the one who makes them for them. And that's where I met Juan and Bill. And I just really liked the product. And they started doing other events and stuff like that. So I got to know them very well. And of course, I live in Florida, so they didn't have a Florida division. So they said, hey, listen, we don't have a rep in Florida. They had one guy and he didn't do anything with it. I won't say names. Second guy did absolutely nothing with the repping. Well, I know them. I know the brand. I know everything about it. So they were like, hey, listen, we have no one. Now, when I say the state of Florida, I mean from Tallahassee, Jacksonville, all the way to Miami.
That's crazy because that's a huge area.
It's a huge area. So they didn't have anybody. So they said, would you be up to it? Shit.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Do I get to go to cigar shops all over Florida and sell your cigars?
Do I get to go to all these fun events you do?
Oh my God, shave my head and live with men. Where do I sign?
Exactly.
Whoa. So I started doing it with them in Florida, and it got big because of course Espinosa's he was big in Florida being in Miami, and started traveling all over Florida, and then of course in New England. I tried, and I really did. I tried to push it in New England, and even with the background of what it is, in New England, where I'm from, is a really tough spot when it comes to cigars because people are pretty much stuck on what they smoke.
And that's the same problem I run into up here with the company that I work for. They're stuck on the name brands.
Right. They stick to a brand, and that's what they stick to, and that's great, and I appreciate that. Smoke cigars, smoke whatever you smoke. I don't look down on anyone who smokes. I don't care if you smoke freaking acids or you smoke Padron 24s. 64s. I don't care. It's the fact of the matter of the cigar realm is a family. We're a family.
And if you enjoy it, then enjoy it.
I don't care what you smoke. You smoking a cigar? Come sit with me, have a drink. Let's smoke cigars together.
Exactly.
But that's how I started with Protocol, and they became great friends. And I'll tell you this will make you laugh. So there's a particular guy in New England, has his own cigar shops. He's very well known in New England. And I saw Eric at that event when I took the job for them. Mm-hmm. And Eric says, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? It's Eric Espinosa. I go, of course. So he pulls me aside. We're at the Leaf in Pennsylvania. He goes, are you the guy pushing my cigars in New England, up north? I go, yes. Matter of fact, Castro's back room, good friend of mine, my buddy Eric, Twins Smoke Shop, my buddy Kurt. I made sure they all knew about Espinosa Cigars, even though they did, but they didn't know the whole thing.
Right.
So Eric Espinosa got me aside and he says, so you're the one pushing my cigars in New England? I said, yeah. He shook my hand, gave me a hug, and he said, there's one guy in New England. And before Eric could say it, I go, the guy's a douchebag. Eric sat back and goes, we'll be okay. Gave me a huge hug, and he goes, "Keep pushing my cigars. You're doing a great job. Thank you."
I don't know that guy, but shout out to you.
Shout out to douchebag.
Shout out to you.
He is. He. When it comes to cigar owners, cigar shop owners. So here in New England itself, it's very tight-knit company when it comes to doing cigars. So this guy totally forgot about where he came from. Let's put it this way. Are you going to go to a lounge that closes at 5 o'clock at night?
No, hell no.
How can you get to the lounge? You're at work. You're a working stiff. This is what we do. We work.
Correct.
So after work, I want a frickin' bourbon. I want a cigar, and I want to sit down, and I don't give a shit what's on TV. I'll watch the game. I'll watch Wheel of Fortune, whatever's on. I don't give a shit.
And honestly, most of the time, guys like us will put something on our phone and just sit there and watch it ourselves. And be
so this guy would open at noontime, and his lounges would be closed by 5 o'clock, even on the weekends.
I know of a few places that are like that, and you know, I don't know how they do good business. I don't know. How they make money, but they make money somehow, some way.
But see, what I found out about this guy is he has a huge online business. So he don't give a shit about Joe Schmoes like us.
Because he's making money regardless.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, he's making his money. He don't give a shit about guys like us. Why have a shop that's open?
They got to upcharge the boxes a little bit to make the cost.
Right. So, and let me give you now, Big Dog knows me. Let me give you, for instance, on a Sunday, I've been wrestling all weekend. I got my ass kicked. I just want to settle in. A buddy of mine lives in Salem, New Hampshire, and he says, "Listen, there's a cigar shop down the street. The game's on. Let's watch a game with me." I said, "You know what? Sounds good. Get in the car, drive down there." So we're sitting there. Now, guys, this is no bullshit. I swear, on my daughter's eyes. We're sitting there, and I'm smoking a cigar, and all of a sudden, the guy working the place comes up. We're watching the Patriots and shuts the TV off.
What?
Yes. Shut off the TV.
I'd have been like, "Sir, do you want a quick right hand to the face?"
Bruh, now, of course, I wanted to see this game because I love when the Patriots play the Giants.
We beat you twice in the Super Bowl. I just want to let you know that. That's right, 100%. And you won with a tuck rule against the Raiders in the the 0-1 Super Bowl. You won with a tuck rule.
This coming from
listen.
That if they had review back then, that was not a catch.
Yo.
Oh no. Nope. Listen, that was a full-on catch that Tyree caught on his head, and you're not going to tell me no.
Stop.
Mind your business.
Ball touching the ground.
Listen, he's a 49ers fan. He don't count.
Oh, he don't count.
Yeah, he don't count. He's a 49ers fan. He don't count.
Listen, when the Giants when the Giants match our championships, then we'll talk. You match the Patriots and the 49ers with titles, then we'll talk.
Well, we got 4. We only need 3 to get to the Patriots, and this new quarterback man is
4 Super Bowls.
Yes, we do.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, we do.
We have 4 Super Bowls.
Yo, are you kidding?
They only have 4. Giants have 4.
We have 4. Twice to the Patriots, and I forget who the other 2 were against.
4. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4.
The 2 that stick in my head are the 2 Super Bowl moments are Tyree's catch and when Bradshaw tried to not sit in the end zone and he fell sitting down into the end zone and scored.
Yep.
You don't really get a better moment than him not trying to score and he just happens to fall.
Cannot take that away. Nope.
But that's crazy, bro. I can't believe that guy did that and walked in and shut the TV off. That's
at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday, watching the Patriots. A room is full of people.
Oh,
we're all smoking cigars we bought from that shop.
And he didn't
shut the TV off. So I look up and go, "What are we doing?" He goes, "Oh, we're closing." I go, "It's third quarter. Can't you?" He goes, "No, I can't." And literally, I go, "Are you fucking kidding me right now? Is this a joke?" I'm looking around. I'm waiting for Ashton Kutcher to jump out. I'm like, "Am I being punked?"
Third quarter, and they shut the game. Oh my god!
Shut the game off.
And they didn't try to kill him.
Well, listen, the guy that I was with made Big Sal look like a bitch.
I did not see this one.
That's tough to do.
Wow.
Okay, this guy was a monster.
Big Sal.
He's a former MMA guy, and he's a monster.
God.
And so I had to grab him because I said, "Let's just go," because I know what's going to happen. Let's just get the fuck out of here.
Let's just walk out. Let's go somewhere else.
So literally, he gets up, and of course, the chair goes to the side, and he looks at this guy, and the guy I thought he was going to melt. And I looked at my buddy. And I go,
"Not today. Leave it alone."
And he just looked at that guy and went, "Thank you for not having us."
Yeah. Lounges like that, unfortunately, and we've all seen them. Every place has a couple of them, no matter where you are. and it's the worst possible thing in the world to have.
It is horrible
because it screws up guys like us who either have been working all week or, you know, like you said, you know, let's just say travel day was Friday, you wrestled on Saturday, traveled home Sunday, and you have to stop by this place on your way home, or, you know, you get a buddy, hey, listen, I'm at the lounge, why don't you come hang out? You want to go unwind, you want to relax, you know, and ask, you know, they're going to ask questions of, you know, what'd you do this weekend? Who did you wrestle? You know, you're going to get, and we love to talk about it, but, you know, I want to unwind and watch a game or, you know, watch a TV show. It doesn't matter what's on the damn TV.
I don't care. I just want to have my bourbon and have a cigar.
I was in a lounge, you know, with one guy. We were watching. It was a bunch of us.
Us three right here. Yo, we good?
There was a bunch of us in a lounge by my house, and it was kind of the same situation, except, you know, you didn't know when he was open because he didn't really tell you when he was open. He had no set hours.
Yep.
And nicest guy in the world. I mean, the nicest guy in the world. We were all in there one night watching. It was a Saturday. I was in there early. I had off from work that day. I'm like, because he was at work. I said, when you're on your way, because he was working in Westchester. So I said, on your way up, I'm at the lounge. Come hang out. I go. We're all sitting down. A bunch of guys come in. We're smoking. College football's on. We go, yo, put on the game. So we had the game on. He comes in. Oh, nothing good's on. And he changes it. And I was like, what are you doing? And all the guys were like, yeah, I'm going home. He's like, oh, you're not staying? They're like, no, I'm good. I'm like, oh, my God. I'm like, dude, it didn't matter if the game was terrible. At least let us watch it until we feel it's terrible and then turn the shit off.
Right.
He just walked in and was like, he sat down with us, hung out, and then he was like, man, this game ain't really that good. And he had 3 TVs, and all 3 TVs were playing the one show. And I'm like, yo, what?
Yep.
So, Derek, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Take me behind the curtain a little bit here with protocol. Where's their tobacco come from? And what is your favorite protocol cigar? And what is your favorite cigar of all? Or is it one and the same?
So everything is done in Esteli in Lozona, Nicaragua. It's all Nicaraguan because, like I said, Espinosa is the one who does our cigars for us. So everything is done in Nicaragua, Esteli, in Lozona. When it comes to protocol, I am 100 bazillion trillion % OG blue.
Okay.
It's a blue label with a P in the center.
Yeah, I don't know if I've had that one. I know I can tell you I've had the Themius.
The Themius? Oh,
that was I got my hands
good.
On that. I think we took a day trip. Me, my dad, and a buddy of ours took a trip out to CI.
Yep.
In Hamburg, and they had them.
Yep. You better believe it.
And I happened to pick one up because I was just, we were just picking up a bunch of cigars that day, and I had picked one up, and I had smoked it, I think, on the way home, or the next day. I picked up a couple of them, a few different ones, and I don't know if it was the blue or the red I had, but I know for sure I had the Themis, which was the gold one.
Oh, that is so smooth.
That Connecticut is just, I'm going to assume it's got to be some sort of, I'm not saying close to the knuckle sandwich, but that creaminess, that punch.
Yes.
You know, it's got that same punch as
it factor.
Yeah, it's got the it factor, that creaminess of it. Now I haven't
unbelievable
knuckle sandwich, so I can't compare it to that yet. I will be smoking that. Maybe I could smoke that on tomorrow's podcast. I could do that.
There you go.
We might
or next Sunday's podcast.
So Derek, what's your favorite cigar? Like in general, what was your like one that your go-to that you look forward to? And if it's protocol, great. And if it's not, what is it?
My favorite cigar of all time, number one, I don't care where I am in the world, has to be the Padron 64 number 4.
Ooh, haven't had that.
Nice.
Yes. In New York, obviously, you know that those cigars, range up to $40-$50.
Yo,
believe it.
Derek,
what was so now let me ask you, because I got this question. What was your very first cigar? And then I'll tell you what mine was.
So you're gonna laugh. So my very, 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 because my grandfather used to smoke cigars, and my older brother was a lot older than me. And what he would do is he would steal cigars off my grandfather's dresser and go down the street with his buddies and smoke cigars. And I remember that one time he was like, come on. I went with him. And of course, they open it, and back then he was like, yeah, bite it off, spit it out, light it up. And it was a Tabernacle.
Oh.
So, Derek.
The Tabernacle.
So, now that we on wrestling and everything else, so when did you start smoking cigars with wrestling?
He said when he's smoking before wrestling. He said he was smoking before wrestling. He was smoking at the ECW arena and stuff like that.
And then Paulie saw me out back. I was with Balls, and at the time I was standing with Balls, Candido, and Tammy, and I was smoking a cigar. And Paul happened to go through the door, and Taz came out and went around.
Tammy right now is like
she's in jail for like
years.
I think 18 years or something like that.
She got 20 years, Tammy.
Yeah.
She's gonna do a solid 18
at minimum.
Because she got 18 to 25.
Yeah, she's gonna do 18 at minimum.
So she has to do 18 before they can even consider parole.
Now I will tell you what my first cigar was. My first cigar was, that's the Themis, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
My first cigar was Acid Blondie by Drew Estate. That was my first cigar.
Here we go.
Great cigar.
Oh,
great cigar.
I thought it was fantastic.
Great cigar.
I at the time, it's not for my palate now. At the time, it was great. It's just not for me. And I'm a big real estate guy. I'm friends with a lot of the guys, a lot of the reps, even the rep that comes down to Florida, Will.
Yep.
Hollywood. Oh man, they left me and Will at ask this guy. They left me and Will at the same place next to each other at Barn Smoker the night before.
Big mistake.
That was the mistakes number 1 through 50. And then, oh man, bro, the stuff that we get into, and then he posts stuff up because I'm friends with him. He'll put, "You can't talk to me that way" or whatever, and I'll comment, "I'll talk to you however I want to," and he laughs at me like, it's just, and people want to know, and I know you can attest to this. How do you become friends with these guys? And you know what my answer to them is? A simple, "Hey, how you doing? How are you?"
Yep. Introduce yourself.
I said, that's all it takes. That's how I became friends with all these guys.
Yep. Introduce yourself.
That's literally the way I became friends. I said, I walked up to these guys last year at Barn Smoker for the, or 2 years ago at Barn Smoker, I should say now. And I mean, I the guy that knows us walked us over. He goes, "This is this one. This is this one. Zach, this. Hey, how are you?" And from there on, we became friends. And then they're all like, "Yo, you guys are coming next year?" Absolutely. They asked me this. They asked me this past year, "You guys coming to the ones next year?" I said, "That's a stupid question." I'm like, "That's a dumb question." I said, "If I didn't get why wouldn't I come?" Did you do the Barn Smoker in Connecticut? I did Pennsylvania. So the first year was Connecticut. Second year was PA, Connecticut. Right. Yep. We were supposed to be down at the Florida one. We were supposed to be down in Orlando. Things didn't work out. We couldn't come. Next year,
we're going everywhere.
Oh, I wholeheartedly plan
good
on being down at the Florida one next year or this year, whatever year it is. I totally forget.
I know, brother. This is a new year. Can you believe it already?
You're telling me it's got me all messed up trying to at the end of this show.
Derek, we could go on for hours and hours, but
Derek,
we
will, and I will tell you, we will definitely.
We're gonna have you back on.
Be doing this again.
Come back as protocol because I got a lot.
I would love that. That'd be great.
Listen, thank you so much for joining us. We got to get out of here. I am so sorry we got to cut this short, but please join us in Turnbuckle.
Guys, let me tell you something. 100% Happy New Year. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you.
You guys have been great. Big Dog, it's been a long time, brother. We've known each other for 30 years. Can't wait to see you again.
We're gonna try to make that happen soon. I'm promising you that.
I love you,
brother.
Shout out to my man right there, my man Derek Dukes. Yo, we out. Yo, we gotta go. See you.
Oh my.
That's the show for today, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with an all-new show. And remember, you can listen to us again and again. The podcast of this radio show is available right after we go off the air tonight.